right there. Okay. First admission. If I'm not comfortable, my brain does tend to shut down a bit, and I seem like an idiot. Right, that's when I'm not comfortable. But that's going away now. I think I'm finally getting the hang of it all, right? And it was all about one thing that the doctor told me. She's a female doctor. She was like, listen, people are not exactly rude or whatever, but what their thing is, they are afraid of what comes out of your mouth because you actually know stuff. And this applies with a lot of so-called university graduates. Some just go up to degree level. A minority go to master's level, and the PhDs, you can count them on your hand maybe, but there aren't that many. So with that said, the educational system here is really bad because you have high tuition and you have no accommodation, and yeah, it's pretty hard to learn in such an environment. People think back in the years when they suffered and they did what they had to. The thing is, the population was less then. Now the population has grown, so you cannot use the same thinking of the past and bring it to the front. You just can't. It's not rational and it doesn't make sense. And the same applies to politics. If you watch CNN, if you watch, I don't know, a bunch of TV shows that are showing the elections at the moment, you will realize that as much as crowds are there and there are lots of people rooting for who, at the end of the day, what they are subconsciously doing is weighing in on what this person can do in their capacity. Right? So they go there and they listen. I mean, just imagine when the Pope was in the States, what was it at that arena? There were millions of people that wanted to see the Pope, and most of them were evangelical or whatever, right? And the Pope is Catholic, but it didn't matter. It did not matter. People just wanted to hear the message that he conveys to the masses. And the same principle works when you come to politics. Politics, you are trialed and tested. You fall, you hit your head, you stumble, all of that. Until eventually, your legs are strong enough, your balance is on point, and you can take on any challenge because you have taken on so many challenges already. So there is a crisis of gun violence. Why do people have so much guns and so forth and so forth? And this derives from the guy that shot people in the cinema. I'm trying to be pragmatic here, so no tears from me. So what do you get? You get this guy shooting up an entire theater. Go in the hood, as it's called, and see how people daily, nearly weekly, get shot by drive-in shooters. Is it not the same? Or is it that this boy was white and got more publicity? I believe it's because of his skin texture that he got more attention, because there is that bias, it's in the back of the head, that bias perception that no, our people won't do that. But here's the funny thing: if you're in the United States of America, our people is all of us. Our people is all of us. And the thing that needs to be contained, the thing that needs to be contained in order to add more value to America, is to completely eliminate the illegal imports of weapons to gangs, as well as to sight out those individuals that try to manipulate kids while they are still young, and by the time they are in their 19, 18, 20s, they've already adapted that kind of life, and it's much more difficult to sort of like go back and retrace, right? That would mean constant consultations, and so that you can know, so that the people can remember, you know what, I wasn't such a bad person. Actually, I wasn't. Same thing with marijuana. You get marijuana, the one that doesn't have additives and stuff, and you get the marijuana that is sold by these street merchants and stuff, where they put stuff in. What do they call it? Cocktails or whatever, where they add stuff in. Those things that they add have addictive elements, so the people keep coming back, and they don't know why, but it's because of that addictive element that was used in those products. So you want to fight a war against gangsters who use middlemen, they are mostly kids. They are mostly kids using middlemen to distribute their product, threatening them. Let's not forget this. These kids are threatened. If you don't do what we want you to do, we'll kill you, or we will kill your family members. This is now going straight to the type of relations that families have to endure, and some families will find actually agree. It's like, go sell because we don't have food in the house. Plus, let's take away that old and wise element. It's not true. There are wise people and there are unwise people. There are people who just grow old, and that's a fact. So, to sort of stabilize the Latino and the black communities, you have to actually go there and see what is the root cause, instead of arresting kids in the streets for doing absolutely nothing. Here's the thing: these people are citizens of the United States of America. Law enforcement is supposed to protect them, but at the moment, law enforcement is protecting the higher class against them. And that is just the blatant truth. So when it comes to reform, as we are now on this is the outreach program right now. So these are some of the things that need to be tackled, and it shouldn't be by partisan stuff, right? This should be about, there are people on the ground, let's listen to them. So yeah, for that, salute for now.